Poon.
So can... Oh, did I make it? Oh, no, I didn't. Edit. All players. There we go. So, lovely, you can see all the session updates. So, can anyone remind me what happened last time?
We meticulously planned a... I wouldn't call it heist so much as a stealthy, not genocide, but...
It was just a casual
I don't
murder.
think it was enough.
Stealthy mass murder via use of chemical weapons.
Yeah, that
I'd
works.
say, yeah,
I
that's
agree with
fair.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you, picking up the session before, you were planning your break into the docks to get into the Blue Rose Shipping Company, you know, as a shell corporation for the Lazarus PMC.
Ed,
Yes.
I can see people in things I shouldn't be able to see, I think. Unless I'm...
Are you talking about the giant Larrys?
Yeah, because I can see those too.
No, there's a particular character on the corporations tab that I didn't remember meeting.
Huh? Oh,
I
right.
might be being really backwards.
Those are old ones.
Wow, that apologies for them. Yeah, that's just me having a shit memory. Okay, let's carry on.
Let me adjust those, because usually I remember to, like, just take them off and tidy it up. So don't worry about that. Yes, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah. So you made it to the docks with the aid of Dion, one of Crenshaw's henchmen. Doc Grubbs and Larry made a sneaky infiltration and got up onto a crane, waiting for the rest of the guys to get in position. I think it comes off a lot better in the log, but essentially, Mr. Smith went into the security office and did some James Bond shit and disabled two guards there. Whilst Shade and Trip, surprisingly, actually everyone, most people were very competent today, last session, but Trip and Shade infiltrated, disabled the security, and took out the guards fairly handily. And then, yeah, you dropped in some poisonous smoke grenades into the warehouse and killed everything.
Yep.
So, as a brief reminder, there were a few humans in there in cages, but there was mainly animals, exotic and otherwise, in there, as well as some lab equipment. That appears to be sort of awaiting shipment. And you looking on the manifest, you managed to find there that the next shipment is the next ship is arriving at 6 a.m. The following morning to pick up a shipment and presumably head off towards Project Alder. And that's where it left off last time. So yeah, you guys have... Oh yeah, and that was it. Doc Grubbs was...
Skinning a bear.
Skinning a bear.
Ah, yes.
During the night. And so yeah, he's got a pretty cool bear pelt. He's rocking. Whilst everyone was doing, like, work. Like detecting things. So yeah, what are you guys up to now? So you got... It's probably about, by this time, it's probably about like 2, 3 in the morning. And the ship arrives at 6.
I think before we record, didn't we speak to Dion about arranging like as many supplies as we get our hands on in terms of like, ammunition and medical supplies and bits and bobs?
I'd say he was happy to. I think he stocked you up in terms of ammunition and. He doesn't have anything groundbreaking in terms of medical supplies more than you have. He wouldn't have access to anything more fancy than you have, but he'd be able to stock you up.
Got Robs, be sure to clean out any medical kits or anything in the
I mean, yeah, there's some.
roast?
The security guys have sort of first aid kits on them, sort of first aid, sort of trauma kits.
Second question:
hmm
how many security guards did we kill? There are enough for us to all grab some uniform.
Yes, so the two at the front
Howdy.
were dock security,
Jesus.
not Lazarus.
Yep.
And they were just sort of just
They were
dudes,
just
just
blokes.
middle-aged dudes. In
One
sort of like, in
This is
sort of like,
brutally murdered, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's killed them sort of probably in the most gruesome way that we've.
Oh yeah.
Of course,
had
wait,
out.
see a minute, were they actually just two old men?
More or less,
Yeah.
yes. They were just dock security. They basically
They
just
nearly
got
got
paid
me as well.
to wake up late and walk around the docks a couple times a night. And
How close to
watch TV.
retirement were they?
Just
They
a
were
day away.
like
Was
at
it
least a day
days?
away. One of them. Yeah,
Oh, God.
one of them super close.
Stand by it.
So yeah, they have sort of general security. So they don't have, which aren't actually messed up. The security is now aired out and is safe to be inside, and the uniforms are unsoiled as such. The ones of the Lazarus security that you took out, there's two that are fine and one that is unusable and covered in blood.
Sorry.
So there's the three guards in total. And you've also got the one that Trip was wearing. So Trip is still wearing a...
Yeah, I think I put the
God.
other one on so I could just stand outside with the
Oh yeah,
bodies.
so yeah, Shade's got one, and so you've got an extra one.
So we got one spare.
Yeah, so you got one spare.
Right.
Out of curiosity, have I been left unsupervised in this office with these two dead
I don't think we'd ready you to come find us.
I would
okay.
imagine, yeah.
I'm gonna hide the bodies in a cupboard before I leave, but yeah, if there is anywhere I can hide them.
Okay.
So Doc Grubbs has a proposal.
Mm-hmm.
So am I right in thinking we have 4 outfits and 5 of us?
You have 3 outfits.
But I thought you said we had 3 outfits and Trip was already wearing one.
No, it's
No,
Two
one of them's
Trip
covered
wearing
in blood, so you can use that. But it's
questions
not the most
maybe
convincing one.
raised.
That's the
Again,
one
sorry,
that Shade
I didn't-
stabbed at.
I didn't mean to ruin. Well, kind of.
All right.
You did.
So
So you have 3 ones, including the ones that Shade and Trip are wearing, that are unsoiled. Then you have
Alright.
the bloody Lazarus one.
Doc Grubbs is
You have the 2 generic security guys.
Was there anyone in like a lab coat here that died in the gas?
No, there's no sort of. This seems very much like just a shipping bit, so there wasn't any need for scientists. That it looks like, although there is scientific equipment, it seems like that it was just a place to get it to the labs wherever they are.
Fair.
Can we
So Doc
put Grubs in a
dressed-
cage dressed as a bear?
That's fucking it. You're
God.
a genius.
Damn it! You beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
Oh, sorry.
Good job, 5H43.
Well, you gonna fucking like?
My suggestion was
Like-
that we put Larry in the last guy outfit. So we got 3 guards. Fucking Mrs. Smith just acts like a fucking suit because he is, and Grubsy would just come up in a fucking cage in a bearskin.
What like what inside a bear like episode 5 or like just a large Russian man in a blanket?
Well, there was more than one bear, wasn't there?
There were several bears, yes.
All right.
Build
So I guess
yourself a bear suit.
Doc Grubsy is gonna do his level best to create some kind of not necessarily using the skin he's already done, but potentially grab a different bear and just create some kind of disguise enough that he can hunt be in a cage and look like a sleeping bear without.
Oh, so like in the cage with the other unmolested bears, you would like use.
Yeah,
that
not the one that he's
to,
skinned.
like, blend in. Okay, yeah, we can get round to that when it comes relevant. Okay, yeah, so you successfully hidden yourself amongst the dead bears to look like sleeping bears.
And his basic proposal is that the guards say something's gone horribly wrong and that all the animals are dead, attempt to draw in the people who are coming from the boat to collect the stuff, and say the only one that's left alive is that one in the corner, and it's got Grubsy in it.
Okay, but what if they're not here to collect
just
animals
sleeping.
and they just go, great, who gives a shit, leave it behind?
Because why would they keep animals here if they want to move them?
I don't know. I don't deal with, like, location services.
I mean, I'm sure they can figure out a way to just get them to go look at the cave with Grubsy in it so we can treat them.
That is very convincing.
Oh, good lord. That is the most terrifying taxidermy I've ever seen.
Oh, I've seen some terror. There's some horrible taxidermy.
It,
But yeah.
what do they do to its eyes?
They put a giant Russian inside it.
Did you see that thing of some guy? I think it was I can't remember where, but somewhere in Asia, in some fish market, some guy got caught putting googly eyes on all of his his fish to make them look more fresh. It did not work.
That's a man I can respect.
Really?
No,
Yeah, I remember
but,
seeing that on Mock the Week. I think it was probably like years ago. It happened.
Marvellous.
Um,
Alright,
So, yeah,
so, yeah,
you're
essential
disguising yourself amongst the bears.
So Grubs is going to disguise himself amongst the bears.
So
Where the hell did bears come from?
there was some of the animals that died in the warehouse that were gassed out. So you looked around. There were bears, there were wolves, there were rats, rabbits, like just lots of various mammals, even chimpanzees and things like that.
Not the chimpanzee. Not the Congo button.
So you got Doc disguising himself amongst the bears, Trip in a guard's uniform, Shade in a guard's uniform. What
Larry in a guard uniform.
Larry, you guarding up?
Yeah.
Okay, Larry's going to be a guard uniform. What about Mr. Smith?
I can be in my suit. That's a
Okay.
disguise of a sort.
Yeah.
Pretending to be human. Can I check with 5H4D3 that he can do the thing with the computers so there's no evidence of us being here?
I think that was already done.
Alternatively,
I already turned all the security cameras off.
Yeah, he looped all the footage.
interesting. Why was I staring at those cameras for so long? On the other side, I would like to turn to Grubsy and propose that we burn the place down after we're done with it.
Naturally.
Good. Okay. I'm in.
Okay.
Was it going to be a solid no without the arson?
Well, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. I'm saying I'd have had to think about it.
Okay, so Mr. Smith, you also know from the evening before when, under your disguise as like a corporate scout looking at the security of the area, that the security guards told you that their shifts change at 8, so you know you have enough time before
Yes.
the security guards are
Needed back.
missed by other.
Or shift change turns up and finds
Yeah,
them
shift
dead.
change turns up, which would almost certainly trigger alarm bells.
It's a bit of a tip off.
Yeah. But yeah, you know the ship is coming at 6, so anything else you guys want to do before then? Or prepare or anything?
Grubsy was going to spend some time. I think he's going to using some. Have they got any like robbing alcohol or anything similar in like reasonable quantities?
I wouldn't know about rubbing alcohol. I mean, in your sort of, I suppose, yeah, you could. They probably got some just basic cleaning supplies somewhere.
So he's gonna appropriate a bottle of that and just spend some time half-ass tanning his skin.
Okay.
Yeah, just like removing the gobbets of flesh.
Okay. Yeah. Roll me. What would this be?
Wardrobe and
Even
style.
be? I mean, close.
Biology?
Biology or I think it's more like some kind of
Zoology again, maybe?
potentially. I feel like it'd be almost something where you
Chemistry?
roll biology, chemistry, or zoology, whichever one you're better at. Okay, yeah, you know it's a process that takes a bit of time, but yeah, you begin it. So yeah, you're
Alright.
beginning to sort of preserve the hide that you've got.
You'll come back to that on a later date.
Cool. Some time passes, and then as it's sort of getting around to 6, I know I know on sort of like big commercial docks, they're sort of a 24-hour job, but this is a very sort of small time sort of setup. So they're not like I said before. It's basically derelict at night, except for the guards that you guys dealt with. So when it's coming towards 6 o'clock, there's still not many people sort of on the docks as such. You've gotten rid of the bodies and stashed them inside, I assumed. And so there's just a couple dock workers working at some of the other warehouses. They don't have anything to do with you, and they haven't been sort of making any contact with you, so you haven't sort of pushed anything like that. As it's sort of coming around to 6 o'clock, just a little bit after, a ship does pull up, which looks a lot like... Oh, not that one. Looks a lot like this.
Ooh. Boat.
Yes, so that's a boat.
That
And that has pulled up sort of here, just outside the warehouse where you're in. And when you're there, within a few minutes, 2 men get out and approach the warehouse. So who's there?
I'll probably be just still waiting outside, standing
Okay, yeah.
guard.
Yeah, I want to be inside.
So yeah, Mr. Smith's inside. Doc Grubbs is inside. Larry, where are you? You inside as well?
I can come out of this.
Where are you? Sorry.
I can't hear a word you're saying, Andy.
I will be outside.
Okay, so you'll be with Shade. So yeah, Trip will be inside by then. And they seem, they're just very casual. They're just sort of dock workers, like ship workers. They look very official though, but they're not like armed guards or anything like that. They just say, here for delivery. And then they just kind of look at you expectantly. Do you just lead them in?
Yeah, I just open the door for them.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so one of the guys, as you roll up the door, one of the guys just sort of has his little clipboard, his manifest, starts looking around at things, and starts like sort of indicating a lot of the lab equipment, particularly, and indicates to the other guy to start getting it moving. He gets forklift that was actually sort of parked around the side of the warehouse and starts moving pallets. As he's doing that, the other guy is just sort of going down the warehouse, checking inventory that he's meant to be taking on this shipment. It does seem mainly lab equipment, although he does look over. He does come up to some of the animals and just looks at them and goes like, "Guys, are these all right?" They don't seem to be moving. I know we keep them like sedated to keep them calm, but usually they're moving a little bit. Are they all right?
I think so. I got here just an hour ago, mate, and no one said anything about bad animals
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay.
Is this kind of where I am?
Yeah, I mean, you can be. Yeah, you're in the
Yeah.
warehouse. He's sort of engrossed in his task, so he hasn't like
Right.
noticed you as such. So he hasn't like discovered you, so you can make.
Okay. Can I just kind of swan in, texting on my phone, not really looking, and just, in a very uninterested way. Yeah, I think they use more sedative than usual. I don't know what was going on exactly. Some science mumbo jumbo. Just not at all paying attention to him.
He like has a pen and he sticks it through the cage and pokes it.
Tell me he pokes at Dog Grubs.
He does. He squats in front of the bear cage, and he pokes. Ooh. So there's 3 bears in. There's 3 little bears in your cage.
Aww.
Which one are you, Doc Grubs?
Is he baby bear?
No,
You know what?
He's just right.
To prove I'm not lying, I'm going to tell Dom on direct message which bear I am, but I'm not going to tell you, Ed.
Okay.
I want you to tell me which bear he's going to poke, and then we'll tell you if it's right. Hang on.
Okay, so I've got a D.
Okay. He's
So I've
trusting
got a
me. I have
D6.
to open Discord now.
So I've got a D6. On 1 to 2, it's the first. 3 to 4, it's the second. 5 to 6, it's the third. Okay.
Okay.
Dom, can you
Fine.
confirm you've received my message?
I can confirm I am in receipt of a message.
Okay. So he's gonna then poke with his pen at the second bear.
Oh, he's bear too.
Okay.
He chose bear too. There we go.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this means that he's kind of looking at you. So I'm gonna need you to make.
Oh no! As soon as he tries poking at him, Dog Grubs is going to shoot him in the face.
Oh dear. Never mind.
Jesus.
I don't know what else you expected. Like I was sat there
I'll be
already.
honest with you.
I was
Okay. Yeah.
sat there
no,
watching this automatic shotgun underneath the bear skin.
I really thought you were just going to make like a cute bear noise or something.
I thought you were just gonna like. Okay. Yeah. Roll an attack. Just so I can see if it fumbles or not. It's the DC is not high to hit him.
He's
At
right
all.
in front of
Yeah, he's basically
Crouched
unless it
looking.
jams or something like that. Yeah, you shoot him in you shoot him in the face. The man is dead. Although it is a very large bang, and although it is a very noisy shipyard, like a very large shotgun blast does like still sort of cut through a lot of it. So let's say you are about here.
Hang on, I'm hoping I can be there. There I am.
And so there's a little.
There's now a bloody pool. There's
Just
now
a
a bloody
little
body
dead
with
guy
that head.
next to you.
Yeah, so there's like a slowly spreading pool of blood about there where the ship worker's dead body is. The other guy who was moving pallets was over there, and I mean it's just in the middle of the day, but he does look over really, really worried. But actually, Larry and Shade, what are you guys doing once you hear the shotgun go off?
How close am I to the other guy?
He's sort of,
no.
you're by the front of the warehouse. He's just coming back on a forklift back from the ship back towards you.
He's in a forklift. I'm just gonna stand like I'm on edge, like a guard ready to just shoot and just tell him to stop.
Okay. Oh, so he gets back to you and just sort of like hops out and just with the thing still running, he's just like, is everything okay? I thought I heard something back there.
And then I
Is
stab
everything
him.
all right? We're just out in the okay.
Oh no.
Ed, what you've done here is you've underestimated our sheer aggressiveness.
I have
certainly
too.
have.
And I just murdered 2 old people.
You just murdered some pensioners who had just had a 2-day-a-week
retirement
job.
Yeah.
Damn, what have you shot?
I should have shot someone's head off.
Shot a guy's head off, and now Shade is
The
going
guy
to...
with the shipping manifest poked my bear skin that I was under, so I just shot him in the face with an automatic shotgun.
And where's the other guy?
Being held up with a knife by Richard at the moment.
He's just walking up to Shade, and Shade has pulled the knife and is going to stab him. Are you just trying to like stab him in the face, or
Which
like?
one's Shade? This one's Shade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my pistol out and shoot him in the back of the head.
Okay, both of you.
I'm wildly just stabbing at him.
Okay, both of you roll attacks.
Ooh, Richard got 11 damage to the neck or shoulder.
Hit location, yeah, that'd be the torso. But this guy's unarmored, because why would he be armored?
For shit like this.
Curiosity, when
Ooh, silent
Baby
handgun.
Jesus, that's a 21.
That's what I was waiting for, is to see if it was the silenced handgun or not. Okay.
Fucking headshot with a 21.
Jesus.
Oh shit, yeah, no, he just fucking domed him.
Larry just fucking one-shots him in the back of the head.
So Shade's, he just sort of goes, sorry, are you alright? Is everything okay? Shade just sort of goes, ah! And just leaps forward and starts like blindly stabbing him in the chest. And then Larry sort of like calmly walks over and just shoots him in the head, in the sort of side of the head. With a silencer, which as we've discussed, doesn't fully get rid of all the noise, but it certainly dampens it a hell of a lot more than like the shotgun was. But now what you have is a lot of
Hey, we're still outside.
dead body, and
Was there anybody else on the boat?
you don't know as of yet.
We don't.
Ah.
So you've got a dead body and a lot of blood here.
Claymore.
There are dock workers inside some of these warehouses. You know, they're just sort of getting ready for the day, probably getting stock ready. They haven't been coming out or dealing with shipments just yet. You're the first one, so no one's in line of sight just yet. But
Mr. Smith, pass me a dead animal.
Alright, no. Dog Grubs has a plan.
Yeah. Also, quick question: when the bear decided to blow a man to pieces directly in front of me, I'm assuming that like Mr. Smith is now just lightly covered in viscera person.
I would say
imagine if that's the
bear
case,
skin
he's probably quietly
got
masturbating.
most of it.
Hey, you know, emphasis on the quietly.
Yeah, the bear skin got most of it, and like it was a lot of shooting back. So I don't think a lot of like came.
There's a lot of it on the wall. There's a
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, the inside of the warehouse is a
Yeah.
mess.
fucking Class A Jackson Pollock on the wall behind him.
Yeah, and there's a very large, like, good-sized hole in the wall.
That is
So
pathetic.
Doc Grubbs is going to climb out of his bear cage, probably covered in bear viscera at this stage.
Bear viscera.
Swiftly inform everybody needs to put on their gas masks. Whip out a normal smoke grenade and let it off in front of the warehouse, and then Trip running down all the other warehouses, shouting about a chemical like leak and telling everyone they need to evacuate.
Oh, so Trip's doing that.
That's
Yeah.
actually quite clever. And
Okay.
I don't like that I have to admit this now.
I was just going to
Okay,
put dead
so-
animals next to the blood
Okay, so Trip
patches.
runs down this way.
Legit
I'm
pretty good.
gonna make...
Is there a fire alarm anywhere?
No, because you've disabled all the alarms.
Yep. I did
I
that.
mean, CCTV alarms wouldn't be linked to fire alarms.
I'm gonna make,
Alright, can we get
Trip.
fucking Shade Boy over here to make an appropriate alarm go off to make everyone fuck off?
I mean, I
Trip's
could.
just gonna do a little, performance. Actually, I'm gonna say this more like a widespread sort of... Oh, dang. Okay, yeah, Trip nailed that. So he's just started running down these warehouses, just shouting about a chemical leak, and then
Wearing a gas mask, mind, because then people
wearing a gas mask, yeah. And then all the guys, there was a couple guys, there was 2 guys in here, 3 guys in here, just like 2 guys in this one, in the closest one, and they all just start they just look at him and they just go, oh, okay, sure, whatever, and just start fucking running.
If a man run past in a gas mask screaming about a chemical leak, you don't hang around to find out what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they've kind of just started running this way towards the front gate.
All right. Grubsy is then going to suggest that Larry go to the boat and grab the rest of the crew and say we've got a big problem. We need as many hands as we can to help out.
Larry's going to suggest Grubsy does that.
The most
Grubsy's
Larry
gonna suggest
response.
that Larry's a fucking idiot because he's dressed as a security guard and Grubsy's covered in fucking bear gore and dressed like a
Grubs is still dressed
Yeah,
like
to
a
be
bear.
If a man dressed like a bear is like, emergency!
It's a fucking techno fucking like
fucking
techno
blue
technician
mohawks.
covered.
Wait, did you cut?
bear.
Did you cut a slit in the top of the bear's skin so that you could put
Oh
your mohawk
yes, your
through it?
mohawk poking out.
Where is the boat?
It's this one right here. It's like right out front. Oh wait, sorry. This one.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Okay, so you make it up.
Running on in the panic. Shouting out. Doesn't help.
We need help. Tell them we need help. We need them to come to help.
Yeah. So you see that the
Like
sort of
oars.
control room sort of looks like towards the rear of the boat.
Why are there oars?
Because cyberpunk.
It's a little bit more dilapidated than I wanted, but this is the best I could get. So there.
While he's doing that, Grubsy's
That's
going
just
to
shit.
arrange.
Pipes.
Grubsy's going to arrange his cohort, so he's going to ask Trip to kindly stop stabbing people and actually just shoot them like an efficient person.
Yeah,
And then he's
Trip.
going to arrange Trip and himself and Mr. Smith like
Hello.
either side of the doorway, so as they come in, they'll be flanking them. In fact, they're all going to stand on one side, so when they shoot, they don't shoot one another.
I just hope 100 people don't follow me off this boat.
And then, just basically get Trip and Mr. Smith and Doc Grubbs all primed up to basically just shoot. Like, as soon as they're all in the smoke inside the warehouse, just fucking open fire.
Right.
Okay, so
Fucking
Larry. So Larry, you make it into what looks like the control room, and it's like I say, it's not the most high tech sort of ship you've ever seen. I mean, you haven't seen that many ships, but everything looks well maintained, and there's
He's a fish.
This is the most
He's a
high-tech
fish
boat
man.
I've ever seen. Oh really? What ones have you seen? None!
this one. But yeah, there's a guy who looks slightly more professional than the rest. Who looks like you would sort of assume as a captain. And then you, can you roll me some persuasion and fast talk?
Can I roll you persuasion and fast?
Yeah, empathy.
This feels wrong.
Yes, I can.
I think Larry's pretty silver-tongued, actually.
He is.
Larry is not silver-tongued.
He usually is.
Oh no!
Oh dang, man.
Oh man,
Dang,
you're
dang,
arrested.
dang. I mean, Larry would be a lot more silver-tongued, but his empathy is really taking a knock with all the cybernetics.
Fucking gills, man.
That is definitely not my fault.
What's happened with my empathy?
Because the more cybernetics you take, the more your empathy goes down. As you know, the humanity cost, that's your
Oh.
empathy.
Right.
So I think
Yeah, this
your
is
empathy.
why I have to be really
now?
careful about getting too many cybernetics.
Um,
That's all I got.
Mr. Still implant or bust.
okay, so he doesn't. I mean, you're still very. He still sees you as a security guard, but he's kind of like, okay, mate, all right, just calm down there, all right, we'll deal with it, all right. What's wrong? He doesn't seem to be as urgent as you kind of wanted.
There's a fucking gas leak out here.
Fuck, I don't know what to do with that. What do you want me to do?
We need help moving sandbags. Robsy says it. He's here.
We need help moving. What?
Sandbags!
Why?
Just fucking say it!
We need help moving sandbags.
Okay, roll me persuasion and fast talk
I'm
once more.
persuaded.
Me again.
Yeah,
For help moving sandbags.
yeah. There's more so I can see how many, if any, go. Okay. Okay, so he just sort of like, oh, fucking fine, whatever, and he turns around to one of the other guys and says, "All right, grab the lads from engineering and head over there, give 'em a hand." And guy just sort of like nods and runs out. A minute or two later,
Can I ask the captain how many bodies he's got on here? We need all the help we can get.
he's like, "Well, it's just normal. It's just yeah, two boys already out there and shipping us. You probably saw me and Dave on piloting, and yeah, the two boys in engineering, really. But I got to stay with the ship, mate.
I need the two guys.
Right, so
They're coming. That's where he just went.
yeah, within a minute or two, the second in command, Dave, returns with what you take to be the engineers, the guys with the sort of greasy overalls and sort of tool belts and things like that. They just sort of look a bit disgruntled, but they follow him and they sort of waiting for you, and they follow you back down towards the warehouse.
Okay, I'll walk down and I'm gonna. What door am I bringing them in? The front door.
Yup.
I'll open the door, like for them, and like hurry them in, and then follow in behind them.
Okay, so there's three guys. It's quite smoky in there, so they've got like they're like, are you sure this is all right? We're not gonna like breathe anything bad, are we?
Well,
As they run in, the last. Do they kind of come in like in a three?
Yeah, they all sort of come in
All right, the
together.
last one in, Grubbs is just going to kind of grab with his right hand as he runs in. So he's like grab a fist to the back of his shirt and donkey punch him with his cyber fist in the back of the head. As hard as he can.
These poor lads.
All right. As that is happening, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Stabbing.
Cowering.
Okay, so which one are you? So
I don't mind.
Okay. Damn, yeah. So
I
which
don't
one?
mind. You pick one.
Grubbs has taken the last one. So you taking the one in front?
The middle one, I guess.
The middle one. Okay, yeah, the middle one. And is anyone else taking the other one? Or
yeah, I'm gonna shoot him in the back of the head.
okay, yeah, trip. Then Larry goes for the other guy. So yeah, can everyone else roll attacks? Cyberarm. Fuck damn, man. Yeah, you said you hit him in the back of the head, and that roll was more than enough. So, fuck, 20 damage. Just did 40 damage to this man's head with a punch.
Poor bastard.
He's dead. I'm not even bother rolling anything.
Does he have a head anymore?
I mean, not
does
the
it
back
explode?
of it.
Does it just explode like an overripe melon?
No, you just sort of like caved in the back bit. So if you looked at him from the front, his eyes would be a bit bulgy, but he'd look all right. But if you look in profile, you know those like things of like ancient like Egyptian pharaohs where their heads are like all like alien shaped and like pointy.
Yup.
Yeah, like the
King
opposite of that.
Crystal skull.
The opposite.
The opposite of that.
It's like the back at
Like, that
his
is-
back is just like an empty shell.
How much a head is usually convex? This is now concave.
Oh god.
And then
What I'm hearing is that he's essentially now just a mask on the whole body.
yeah,
Nobody
basically.
cared who I was until I became
Uh,
masked.
And Shade, yeah, managed to get the guy. And actually, yeah. So I'm just gonna say, I mean, I'm not gonna make you roll anymore. Yeah, you guys deal with them pretty quickly.
Nothing in
Now there's one guy left on the ship.
Thankfully, didn't make loads and loads of noise because he used mostly fairly quiet weapons.
Fists.
I mean,
If
probably
anything, the
power
scream
arm.
that Shade makes when he stabs someone.
Not silent.
Yeah, the effeminate squeal.
There's the light hiss of pneumatics as the hydraulically powered fist
Yeah.
explosively extends.
But mostly it's the giddy screaming that scares people.
You.
But yeah, so that's. So
I imagine it's like the evil toon in Who Killed Who Killed
Who
What's his
framed
name?
Roger Rabbit?
Framed Roger Rabbit.
But yeah, no, and then you've got, I mean, you've taken out those 3 guys.
Right, there's one fucker left on that ship. Let's have him. Let's get out of here.
To the
Let's
ship.
steal the ship. Let's steal the ship.
Okay, so you guys all making your way over towards the ship.
Doc Grubbs is gonna get on the forklift.
Which is sitting just outside the front of the warehouse, yeah.
Yeah, which I assume is still running.
Yeah, no, you left it running when the guy jumped out.
Just trying to contemplate if there's anything useful that we could take with the forklift, other than the forklift itself, clearly, we can drive on the boat.
Can we just take the bodies of all of his fallen friends?
Yes, I'd like to pile all the bodies on the forklift. And then just send Fisheye ahead to get inside the cab before he sees me. And then just emerge from the thing with them all on the thingy, and then hopefully Fisheye can then intimidate him with some kind of advantage due to the fact that he's got a forklift load of corpses coming out.
Yeah, we need to show him how to operate.
That is a little terrifying.
Yeah, he needs to take us to the place we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want to kill all the crew because he might be useful.
Yeah, and we don't know
Okay.
where we're going.
Exactly. So it's an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
Okay, is that what? So that's what you're doing. So Larry making his way back in and trying to intimidate the captain.
Yeah. So once Larry's got like within a few feet of the thingy, then Grubsy will emerge with the forklift covered in corpses.
Are you
Okay.
still
Corpse
dressed
lift.
like a bear?
I think I'm just covered in bare viscera.
Even better. Carry on.
Awesome. Yeah, so you make it. So yeah, it's basically just like a big industrial sort of gangplank, almost like gangway onto the ship where the forklift has been making its way on and off. So as you're about to go on, Larry, you make your way back into the control room towards the rear, which has a very good view of the gangway. As you can hear, the forklift just making its way in, you sort of emerge. And what are you doing then?
I'm just gonna say, I start. Your lads didn't make it.
And he's like, what would you mean? Where are they?
And then I'm just gonna like put my hand on the like control deck and leaning close to him, like your lads didn't make it.
Can I?
It smacks very much of, look, mate. Everyone you love is dead.
This is about the moment where he just sees a forklift emerge from the smoke.
Okay, yeah, he sees that and he's like,
So I
Okay,
shall
so-
say it again. Your lads didn't make it.
Okay, roll intimidation with a +3. So when it comes up, just
That's a
times 3.
solid bonus.
I mean, he's not like a soldier or anything. He's a
What is intimidation?
under cool, I think. Yeah, intimidate.
With a +3.
Yeah, so he's just like, okay, and then he just starts carrying. He's like, please. He just like
I'm gonna
initially
grab him
seems
by
pretty
the-
cool, and then just breaks down. Like, please don't kill me, please
I'm gonna
don't.
grab
Kill
him
me.
by the scruff of the neck and hold it and just like drag him up. And like, look, sunshine. What can I hurt you? You just do what we tell you.
Okay, yeah. What do you want me to do? Anything.
And then I'll radio to the rest of the crew and be like let's go.
What the fuck do we want?
We just want to get on the boat and go somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going.
Have we got? Is Dion still around?
I mean, he has been sort of idling. I would imagine he wouldn't have stuck around for. Actually, no, I reckon he would have just sort of said his goodbyes after a a while. He wouldn't have just sort of
Just
hung
watched us
around.
murder a bunch of people and went, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Just
that's
left.
a bit rich for my blood. Or pieced out. No, I reckon after the original thing, my mistake for getting glossing over it. But I reckon once he'd done his job was just to get you access to the docks. That was it. that he would have just, and seeing as you didn't need sort of getting a getaway vehicle, then he would have just sort of said his goodbyes and sort of made his way off. So yeah, no, you've got control of the boat, and you've got a warehouse packed with dead stuff of various
Alright, I'd like
varieties.
to get in touch with Dion,
Yeah.
if possible, and ask him to pass on a message to what's his name?
Crenshaw.
Jeff.
Crenshaw. Basically, if he's like in the name of good business, if he could basically take control of the Blue Rose warehouse for now until we return, he's welcome to have anything out of it he could find and/or wants. And then on the basis that when we get back, we'll burn it down. But for now, we just need it. And if he could keep control of it in the dock, so that we've got somewhere to return to with the boat.
He goes, all right, yeah, I'll put it to the big man, but I mean, should be all right. How long are you guys going to be gone? We shouldn't
be
be
more.
able to do it for long.
I mean, we're just going to ask him mostly to cover it in fucking red tape, say there was an accident, and keep everyone out.
Okay.
And he's welcome
Right.
to any of the cargo inside if he wants it in the interim as sort of as payment for doing it while we're away.
All right, but if any cops show up or any Lazarus, we don't have the firepower. We're going to get out of there.
In that instance, he's going to leave him a thermite grenade and ask him kindly to burn it down rather than let anyone else get hold of it.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. So that is all good. So yeah, you've got control of the ship. You've got the pilot. Fairly thoroughly intimidated and willing to do
Lovely.
whatever.
Is there like a little ladder on the side of the boat?
Yeah, there's
Not
those
outboard.
those like inbuilt sort of little ladders.
Alright, Doc Roberts is going to quickly hop down the ladder and just take a dip in the sea to wash off the air viscera.
I mean, they've got sinks, but yeah, sure.
So he's going to dip in
Nah.
the sea and then
They've got showers and stuff.
without making any effort to really wash, he's going to just throw his like half tan bearskin like across his shoulders, like a big cape with the head like poking over one shoulder, and just wear it over his coat.
Mr. Smith is going to have a look that is, I fucking knew it. You're all goddamn animals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I dig it.
Can we push Larry in to see if he can breathe underwater yet?
Oh yeah, do it.
Were you
We give him saltwater or freshwater gills? I can't remember.
Were you trying to waterboard Larry?
Well,
Yeah, if by waterboard you mean push into the sea.
oh, wakeboard on Larry.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Does Fisheye Larry have any points in swimming?
Can
That's a
fish
fair-
Larry.
Well, no, I thought he got given a point in swimming for having gills now.
I think I added I think he got an extra one.
I already
My
had-
reasoning
already
for that
had
was
one.
that, I mean, he already had one, so yeah, now he's got two.
Alright, that's fine. I was just checking that we hadn't given gills to someone who couldn't actually swim.
That would be
Yeah, no,
very good.
I justified adding an extra one to swimming because I felt like
Where is Lewis?
if you can breathe underwater, you're a lot more calm, which allows
So,
you to
yeah,
swim
actually,
better.
swimming becomes a lot easier when you don't have to worry about breathing anymore.
Yeah, there's no impetus there. There's no like.
You just gotta like move through the water in some manner.
It's a lot more coordination. You don't have to monitor your breathing as much.
You can just wait till you get to the bottom and then just walk.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, are you throwing them off the side of the ship in sort of like a hazing ritual whilst you're still in the middle of a heist?
Just because I'm curious.
Okay. So Shade, roll me some stealth first to see if you can sneak up on Larry. And Larry, roll me some awareness.
Oh, I am very aware.
Are you that
Ooh.
aware?
He's quite stealthy though. He's a stealthy boy.
Oh fuck!
Oh yeah, he sort of catches you, and you go to like shove him in.
And then just turn around and pretend I wasn't doing anything.
How fast Fisheye Larry's reflexes?
Like
I
a
don't know.
fish.
I mean, well, fish out.
That's a good question because if I can't push him in, I'm gonna stab him.
While he's doing that, while he's sort of distracted with Shade, can Grubby just give him a hard shove?
I'm going to say you didn't have this planned out quite as much, so I'm going to say probably not just yet.
I mean, I did pretty well
yeah.
for someone who has 0 in stealth.
Yeah,
That
you
is
did
true.
pretty good. Like, I mean, for context, Larry has, like, he's very aware, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, has, like, a 7 in awareness. Yeah, he did very well.
Nearly got him.
Um,
Just you wait till we're out at sea, boy.
I'll get you. So yeah, you know all those millions and millions of fail videos, people trying to push people into pools and they miss, or the person who catches them. It basically goes down like that.
Excellent.
But yeah,
Wait, like the really funny ones where they try and push them and then someone just steps out of the way and you fall in.
I'm gonna say though the discrepancy wasn't that bad. If you
That's
like,
good because I have a
fumbled
0 in
back,
swimming too.
yeah. Oh damn.
So we get Shade a life jacket.
Like a child's one.
But yeah, do you set sail? How's it?
Yep. We're gonna
Yeah.
instruct our new friend to take us to Project Uber.
So is someone staying in the control room with him to make sure he's...
Trip is.
Okay, yeah, so Trip is doing that.
Can I stay with
Because
Trip to make sure he doesn't trip and completely fumble? While
Yeah,
he's
so
just,
so
yeah,
Trip
for the
and
journey.
Smith are in the control room.
Yeah.
he's perfectly patient.
Trip
Yeah, for some reason I
Trip
know.
falls over, finds the scuttle button.
I fucking knew it.
So yeah. So yeah, you guys slowly, start pulling away. He instructs you how to get the gangway out, down and put away. So you manage to pull that up and start making your way out. Obviously, very slow going to get moving. Once you do get moving, it moves at a fairly decent pace, and
What's the state of the sea these days?
it's a good question. So it's
Is it like green and fizzy?
Is it icky?
Carbonated.
it's not fizzy as such, but around here is not a beach, so it's not like loads of waves. But as it comes up to the docks, it does start getting quite wavy and quite choppy. I mean, not like storm. It is still a fairly peaceful day, so it's not. It's not
Tell
like
that to
horrible.
the 5 people we just murdered.
Well,
Yeah, it's not like a tsunami or anything like that. But yeah, the water, especially around the docks, is quite polluted. There's just sort of rubbish, sort of crap, just strewn about in there, stuff floating in there.
A bit
it's
like
just
a bit like a present day canal then.
yeah, probably.
I don't see
similar
how
to
this
that.
is
The
different
water's
from
got a
usual,
very
but
murky
okay.
sort of look to it. It's not like beautiful, crystal clear by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, as you within the first sort of 10 minutes, you start it starts warming up and gets moving and making its way out. And you clear the docks and you clear the sort of clear sight of Dover quite within sort of half hour or so, and then you make your way. Does everyone want to roll me? Wait, does anyone want to roll me sort of awareness? Who's outside?
Yeah.
Or not, Mr. Smith or Trip?
that's right.
Can I roll you?
Yes, you can.
Lost awareness.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So, as you come out of Dover, he starts. Usually, the traditional trading route would go, like over straight towards Calais, or sort of more easterly towards the rest of the continent. He starts heading sort of southwest, sort of not following the coast. He goes out quite a ways, sort of out of sort of easy sight of the coast, and sort of makes his way sort of west, sort of southwesterly, into the sort of English Channel. and he sort of holds that bearing. You actually, so Trip or Mr. Smith, who's gonna keep intimidating this guy to sort of keep him in line?
Now
I
he's
think
got
Mr.
a.
Smith should try.
I think I should try. Yeah. Let me actually open my character sheet. Hang on. Where's intimidation? What's that under?
Should be under cool.
Yep. Well, I tried.
I'm gonna say Trip
Ladies and gents,
is
it did
is
not
going to be
work.
helping there as well. So
Thank fuck for that.
he is already there. Okay, so yeah, that's good enough that I don't think you guys already crip out. I'm going to say because also he was quite thoroughly intimidated from before. It would take quite a lot to break that as such, and he also knows that his options are very few.
A bit limited, yeah.
Yeah, so he
Have we just left the corpses of his crew just in front of the window?
yeah, just sort of strewn on the deck.
That is
So
one way to
he's-
send the message pretty clearly.
Yeah, he is. See, after about half hour, 45 minutes, he starts sort of the silence becomes a bit too much for him. He starts kind of going like, what were you guys after? What were you doing? Why are you doing that?
I'm just gonna yawn in his face.
Yeah,
Is that did you say? Because we're bored.
I say it. I
Because we don't know what else to do with our day.
I thought Grabs was going to.
Because this is the story.
Creative differences with the runners of Project Order.
Yeah.
DJ Big Russian takes issue with their the direction that we
Yeah, we're probably gonna kill him anyway, but you know.
Okay, all right.
So, and then Doc Grabs is going to take that prompt to then start quizzing him on everything he knows about Project Order and where we're going.
Project what?
Project Order.
Oh, right, yeah.
The sort of some sort of research facility you're aware of in the English Channel.
Well, they keep taking all the slaves.
Yeah, that's where they keep stealing all the slaves. And you know there's some kind of weird genetic stuff going on there. That he just says, I honestly I don't know, mate. They seem really creepy, really weird. I just get paid to just shut up and drive the boat. I just stay far out. I don't look in the cage. I don't look in the boxes. Don't look what's under the tarps. Not worth it. All I know is it. I mean, it's right in the middle of the English, in the middle of the channel, and it's. I mean, it's out of the waves of any of the north shipping routes, so no one's going to be sort of coming on it accidentally, if you know what I mean. So, and it's pretty well guarded.
What are we looking at here? Is it an artificial island? Is it a boat?
Is it an old like World War II fort thing?
No, it's more like.
You mean Sealand?
It's not Sealand. It's like Fort Boyard.
Yeah.
No, he's got no. It looks really fancy, really high tech stuff. They put a lot of money into this place. It's one of them. It's like a. I don't know, it looks like a big metal bubble, just like in the middle of the sea. And yeah, there's like a little dock bit we come into, but other than that, it's just windows. There's no sort of entrances or stuff that I could see at least. I mean, I try not to look too hard. He says it'll take us about I don't know 3-4 hours to get there, give or take, depending on the weather.
All right.
Okay, so are you guys doing anything sort of in the meantime whilst he's whilst you're making your way there?
Apparently, very badly intimidating.
Just,
I'm trying to be intimidating, but I'm like,
Mr.
do you
Smith
want to play cards?
staring at him real hard. Whoa. Why you order? Anyone else? Are you just sort of waiting it out, just sort of settling in?
Yeah, my turn.
Yeah, you know, sharpening knives and that.
Yep, of course.
Okay. Lovely. On your way there. This is about sort of 2 hours in. So you're well on your way. You're not sure exactly where you are just now. But Larry, you get a phone call.
Ooh.
And you see on the caller ID that it's Wilson.
Good.
Do you answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, right?
Oh fuck, that would have been cool. Damn. Oh, that's cool.
It's all right. We'll allow you to retrospectively
I'll
change.
save that for later.
Yeah.
No, you just go, oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, Larry, mate. Oh,
Whoa. Kill Winston.
oh mate, it's bad. It's bad. They're everywhere. Oh fuck, mate. It's gone. It's all gone.
What the fuck is wrong, man?
It's the pub.
Uh-oh.
The
They've
four
raided. I don't know who they were. They were guys in black. They just burst in. Oh yeah, fuck. I mean, I think I just heard some guns. I heard like shouting. I heard breaking. I heard guns. I have no fucking. I just got out of there as quick as I could. I just dived out. I mean, I grabbed some backups of the files, but I just dived out the window. I've been just sprinting. I just made it to a sewer, and oh fuck, mate.
What about Petunia?
I have no idea, mate. Like I say, I heard some guns. I think some of the guys there might have put up a fight. I don't know who. I heard like some shouting down inside the bar, but I honestly can't tell you, mate.
What about Frenchie
Yeah, I don't know.
and the other boys?
When I was running out, I saw some of the. I think I saw some of that. I don't know, mate. I think I saw Toby. He was on the ground. He wasn't moving.
Not Toby.
Toby.
I'm gonna put him on speakerphone so the rest of the guys can hear.
We're just lamenting the loss of Toby. Great hero.
Yeah, like I say, I didn't stick around. I don't know who they've got. I just knew they came. They're just guys in black. I don't know if they seem like they were. I mean, they weren't just trying to kill people, because if they were, they would have just blown the whole fucking thing up. But they seemed like they were tearing the place apart, looking for something.
Right. I'll confer with the group. I'll ring you back shortly, Wilson.
It's okay, mate.
Before he goes, Grubsy's going to recommend he goes to hide with the friendly Yakuza.
Okay, yeah.
Like a player, yeah, it should be a safe place for him to be for a little while. You know, we've
Unless
got.
it was the Yakuza.
Unlikely.
You never know, mate. They're Yakuza.
I think it's a fairly safe bet to say it's probably Lazarus.
Yeah,
Well, again,
you put it to Wilson. He's like, no. I've spent enough time around Yakuza. That was not Yakuza. They were all speaking English. They all looked like tactical. They all looked like tactical gear.
It's exactly what the Yakuza would want you to think. It's genius.
And he just seems like just really knackered, just out of breath. Clearly, he's been like running for a good long while, or just darting in and out of places, and just trying to lose any tail he may or may not have had. When you say about the Kazuma family, he's just like, Yeah, okay. You'll take me to... yeah, I can get there. Alright, what did you guys do? And he just kind of like hangs up.
I'm unhappy that he thinks this is our fault.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, you are aware that someone, you have some suspicions might be Lazarus, have like,
Caught up with us.
Yeah, in some way, to the Four Roses, and it just seemed like they've just like torn through there, trying to find people or like get answers or look for something. Yeah, not really those right now. Are you doing anything about it right now? Or are you just sort of
I mean, there's not
continuing
really
on with the
much
plan?
we can do about it at the moment, is there?
Yeah, I have no idea what we could do.
No, fair enough. Okay. So yeah, you guys sort of absorb the information. Still feeling a little bit shell-shocked about everything, but aware that there's not really much you can do about it right at this moment. And after not too long, within sort of the next 45 minutes, an hour, you start noticing something on the horizon. I'm gonna take the last sort of awareness roll. So I'm gonna say Fisheye Larry is probably the first person to notice a little speck on the horizon, which starts getting a little bit bigger. Sort of sitting in the middle of the ocean, and then starts getting bigger and bigger. So you get closer.
Oh, like fucking Thunderbolt. Well, I want beer.
Okay, beer break. 5 minutes. See you in a sec.
I feel like this is out of a film.
Yeah,
I can't think what film it is.
my first thought was, oh, it's the Gungan city from like episode 1, but it's like, nah, don't be stupid.
Yeah, that's not underwater.
You saying this looked like the Gungan city?
That was my first thought when I saw it.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from. Is it out of
Thank
like
you.
the Meg or something?
I don't remember.
Excellent.
When you're searching like C-Lab concept art on Google for several hours, this is what you eventually find.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it looks easy to destroy, so yeah. This should
That's
be
a
fun.
I love your first thought is just like, yeah, I could blow that up.
Well, I mean, if
That
it's
your
just made
first
out of
thought when you arrive
glass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Although it looks like there's probably a lot of people who live there. Which
Oh, yeah,
Makes
like
you get a score multiplier.
Yeah, it's a big like facility that you can see, and that's just it's fairly easy to sort of guess that a fair amount of it is below sea level.
I would assume, yeah.
Mm.
And this is in the channel.
Yeah,
What the bloody hell do they avoid all the shipping?
that's why. That's what the guy was saying. Is
the
that
shipping forecast.
Ah,
They listen, they
It
move.
just
makes
listen to
sense,
Radio
yeah,
4 every day.
There's a guy there, and that's his entire job.
It's a tight job. What do you do? I listen to Radio 4.
Yeah, so I mean, just looking at it, you're not able to tell if it's static or if it's somehow able
yeah.
to be.
You guys want me to
maneuvered.
ruin your day?
Sure.
There's a guy at work who hasn't seen any of the Avengers, any of the Marvel films, but he watched Endgame the other day.
At this point, it's just getting harder and harder to get on board.
Yeah,
'Cause
watching
you, like-
Endgame, that's a way to start. I like it. I respect it.
That
He just
Yeah.
watched Endgame.
how
Did he
like
not understand any of it?
literally none of it would make sense.
Yeah, and he came in, he was like, "That was such a good film." I was like, "Yeah, but you don't know."
Really?
Was he just looking at it like, ooh, big lights?
Shiny light.
Yeah.
It's like, well, look at all these superheroes. Cool.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
I mean,
Man, they
can
didn't really do a
understand
good job of setting these characters up, did they?
Ooh, what about her? She sounds very important. Oh, no, guess not.
It's a lot better than the reaction of the people who've been watching it for 10 years and went, "Fuck you, get those women off my screen."
Oh, God, yeah.
So what do you mean, women of Marvel?
There aren't women in this universe.
Yeah, I think generally the first thing I did was I came home and went, "Are there any just all superhero like team ups in the comics?" And then I was like, "Oh, there is." Bye. And then I still haven't read it because reading's hard.
Reading is hard.
So, Ed, I started reading The Boys.
Oh, you should watch
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's amazing.
It's
How's it?
really good.
it's so good.
Very, very graphic. I mean, I know it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
graphic novel. It's a graphic novel.
Oh, have you gotten to the party? Here, was it Hero Palooza or whatever?
No, not yet. I'm like
It gets more graphic.
40% of the way through.
Oh yeah, and that's still like that is like a chunky thing. That's the omnibus sort of first, first issue.
I think I'm still on Cherry.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is a amazing series. I love it. So much.
I've seen it on Amazon, and I do want to watch it. But having now started reading it, I think I'm going to finish the graphic novel before I watch series.
Amazon
Yeah.
series is great fun. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm
I
kind
mean,
of really annoyed it's on the
I've-
podcast list for next year.
Actually, I didn't mean to ask. Does Carl Urban? I'm assuming he's Butcher.
He's Billy Butcher, yeah.
He looks like Butcher. Yeah,
Yeah.
Does he
yeah.
put on the accent?
I don't know.
He's proper British.
Yeah, he needs to be like Cockney.
Oh yeah, no, he is. It's. They do it.
Apparently, the Frenchman is almost incomprehensible.
Oh, legitimately, he
And
does
that's
need
exactly
subtitles.
what I want.
He needs
I mean-
subtitles.
He doesn't speak much in English. Full stop.
Well, even in the graphic novel, it's always like written phonetically. So he's like, I don't know what we are doing.
Oh yeah, it's that level, yeah. If not more.
And the female just doesn't say anything.
We have already got one, you see. Oh yes, it's very nice.
Yeah, the female doesn't say anything at all.
Well, actually, yeah. Does she speak in the TV show?
She in the graphic novel, she literally doesn't speak.
Yeah, I don't think she does speak actually. It's-
And then Mother's Milk, I in my head is just a very kind of average, big black American man.
I'm
He's
imagining
like the most
Scar.
normal person out of all
Like
of them,
Wesley
and his
Snipes.
name is Mother's Milk. So
Yeah, you'll find out about that.
Yeah, I do get the impression he's meant to be the. You know, it's explicitly stated he's the normal one who helps Butcher control the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, they are some pieces of work. The characters are amazing. And then then you got like Wee Huey, who's like, the fuck?
Is Wee Huey Scottish?
Yeah.
No, in the series, not in the. I know he is in the book.
no, he's not in the series.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah, but the guy they have playing him is really good actually.
Really good.
Honestly, thought he was probably one of the better actors in the whole series. He's just very.
Oh, that's good because he's the one who has to actually like emote and be like,
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I think
this is all not good.
I'll be honest though. Actually, in the book, I find him one of my least favorite characters.
I know what you mean. I think, yeah.
And not necessarily just because he's not a badass cool one, but I don't know. It's just I find his character a bit. It seems unfair because he has every reason to be, but he's just a little bit whiny.
Yeah, and I think
I mean, I know he's kind of. Yeah, I don't know. He has good reason to be, but he's just a little bit of a little bitch.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think a lot of that. I think the justification would be that he's never given any time to like acclimatize to any of it. He's just
yeah, that's true.
Here's your coat, here's your really cool trench coat. Let's get in the van. Let's go.
They do actually address that quite well in the series. There's like a bit where he's like, no, it's just this dude I've known for like 3 days. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I love that. He's just like, yeah, you're in a secret CIA task force, and we're giving you superpowers now.
Oh yeah, and his dad is Simon Pegg, and I love it.
Oh my god, they actually got Simon Pegg.
They
I'm so happy.
got Simon Pegg as the dad.
So that's the
I'm
thing.
so happy.
I don't think it's that hard to get Simon Pegg to be in a thing. I think you just go.
I think if you got something
This would be
suitably
cool.
nerdy, he'll be like, yeah.
But the thing is, Wee Huey was based on Simon Pegg,
Oh really?
like explicitly.
Oh, wow.
They said, and in The Boys, if you read the graphic novel, in the first issue, the foreword is by Simon Pegg. Talking about it, how they approached him, asking to base a character on him.
That's probably why he's the dad, to be honest. Actually.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
no,
pretty
he wouldn't
great.
be able to play. He's too
No, he's a bit too old
old
for
for this
Wii U
now.
anyway,
But yeah, you need someone like quite young and fresh faced for
Yeah.
Wee Huey.
That's how the MCU got Samuel L. Jackson, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
someone got Samuel L. Jackson to play a character, but just go, but he's based on you. And I think they did the same for.
They remade Nick Fury to be based around Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, Nick Fury
used to
used
be
to
like
be
a
white.
white guy from the 50s.
Yeah,
And
he
the
used to be
guys-
like a silver fox sort of looking guy.
Yeah.
Now he
Nick
looks like
Fury's
Shark
character-
with an eye patch.
Nick Fury's character used to look like J.J. Jameson.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
He had like straight hair and
Far
a
off.
tash. Like
Yeah.
50 American man.
Yeah, I think they also did the same when they were getting Terry Crews to be in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I can believe.
He was just sort of like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, and they were just like, well, we've decided to call the
character's
character
name is
we've
Terry.
decided to call the character Terry, and so now if you turn it down and it's a success, you're going to watch someone else walking around with your name.
And basically, yeah, with a character we designed completely around you.
So he had to do it, and he
Yeah.
smashed it, and a lot of other things, because he's gigantic.
That is the cover of Nick Fury fighting Nazis in space.
As is tradition.
As is known.
It is known.
I can't help but noticing the Earth exploding in the background there.
Minor detail.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's in space?
It gets better.
That's a good point.
But yeah, no, The Boys is legit like one of, if not the most, my favorite like graphic novel series. It's so good.
I
And the
don't know how
best thing is
faithful
it
is
has
to the
a definitive
comic
end.
books, but-
Like it has a run, it's a beginning, middle, and end, and then it's done.
Yeah, like
How many omnibuses are there?
TV shows.
I don't know how many omnibuses. I would imagine probably like 4 or 5.
Alright.
Because there's about 20 issues, and looking at the thickness of that, it's probably got like 3 or 4 in there.
I think, yeah, I had about 4.
Yeah, so I'm imagining like 5 omnibuses.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, sorry, back to
Back to the less nerdy thing we're doing.
I'll be honest though, reading it, I'm like, there are a lot of parallels between our Cyberpunk campaign and these geezers.
With the first time I played Cyberpunk, I made a character called McCready, and he was a solo. I just took Butcher's face and just drew a mustache on it. Just drew some mutton chops on him, and that was my character.
Flawless.
That was literally all I
Wait, whose face?
Butcher's.
Oh right.
I just took his face and drew like mutton chop mustache on it.
Wait,
that was
solos
my
are like
character.
the soldier dudes, aren't they?
Yeah.
How have we become such an efficient killing team without an actual soldier?
Because classes in Cyberpunk are far less.
They're very. I mean,
They're a
solos.
mere suggestion.
Solos are very good at killing things. Like they're, you know how like your class ability lets you hack things and interact with a net. Solos, their class ability is where is it? Combat sense. So
Yeah.
that gives them a bonus to all their initiative rolls and all their awareness rolls. So whatever their combat sense is, that gets added to whatever their awareness and initiative rolls are.
Oh
What about
god,
their
that sounds
attacks?
insane.
They are generally just very. It doesn't get added to attack, but they tend to be very good at fighting. Like all their base class skills are basically all the combat things. So yeah, like handguns, like I think stealth even, like hand to hand and stuff like that.
Cool. Anyhow,
Cool. Larry, Andy back.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so slowly, what you assume to be some kind of C lab starts coming to view. And as it comes into view, you just realize how big this thing actually is. For reference, the boat you're in is probably about...
Is it just one of these?
No, it's a bit bigger than that. It's probably more like...
is it more like that one? Is that boat?
Yeah, it's probably more like that length. And
This is quite large.
you're not like a proper size shipping container either. You're a much smaller one, but probably each one of these bubbles is probably like the diameter is about like a football pitch, length of a football pitch, something like that.
By
A
Jove.
rough scale.
I know what this reminds me of. You know, Camino in episode 2. It's like that, but the sea levels have risen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, you as you start approaching the pilot that you've been intimidating all this time starts getting even more antsy, and he starts going like, "Oh, fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! They're gonna catch us." I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, do you want me to just? Where are we going? I mean, I can pull up, but what's gonna happen?
Well,
Are you
normally
just gonna start shooting everyone?
We're not gonna shoot everyone. What do you think of us?
I'm
Christ.
going to stab some people.
Yeah. He likes knives. I like hiding. You know.
He wouldn't know if there was like an entrance under the water, would he?
No, he's a delivery guy.
Uh,
A secretive.
Can we send our water boy to scout underneath?
Fishy boy.
Mm-hmm.
Larry,
Yes.
that's you.
Swim.
Get the fucking water.
Hey!
Okay, so
Oh, hang on. Before Larry leaves the boat, Doc Grubbs is going to. I'm assuming we're not quite there yet.
No.
Gonna grab everyone and like step away from the pilot for a second. Keep an eye on him, but just like at the back of the room or something. And just kind of ask the question. Can we actually outline that? Why are we actually here?
Because you said.
I thought you were the one telling us to be here.
I mean, clearly we're here to kill people and fuck shit. We're here to like shoot stuff and fuck shit up because that's what we do.
Yep.
But I feel like we should try. As much as I love winging it, we need to wing it towards some kind of objective.
I thought that was what you did.
Wasn't this was from the financial stuff? Like they're
Yeah.
siphoning money through here
I guess we just want to find out what's
The
happening, what they're
two
doing,
here?
what's happening.
and blow up.
Look,
Yeah.
so Grubsy is going to suggest some objectives for our escapades, and then that hopefully will define what we're going to do as a plan.
As a unit.
Number one,
Yeah.
Bank of Grubs is a little dry. Actually, our base just got fucked up. So Grubsy's going to put out there that we should. We know that millions and millions of Eurobucks have been siphoned off the top to fund this project.
So we should steal some stuff and then
It
blow
must be
up.
going somewhere, so we should steal some of it.
Steal
Preferably all.
anything that looks expensive. Got it.
We need to find
Non-
the money siphoning tube.
That too.
Not necessarily. Not
We need to
necessarily.
find those like air pipes that they're sending all the money through.
All the jewels they've got.
More
lying
thinking like actual.
Oh, the Dragon's Vault.
More thinking like digital Eurobucks in an account somewhere, but just stealing money. Because Grubsy's tired of being poor. Wants to be a rich gangster.
I'm gonna take lead on that one.
So
I know what
money.
counts.
So key objective, and Shade's possibly going to be a key leader on that one because it's going to involve some digital wizardry.
I'm just about. Have you got a chalkboard? You've just written money in capital letters.
Money.
No, I am actually writing these out, and the number one is money brackets stealing of.
I want your money.
Number two, find out the fuck this is all about.
Oh my god, wait.
Secondary,
oh,
yep.
So number two on Doc Grub's chalkboard is just. Yeah, and I will list it out for you actually. That'd be good.
Oh my god, it's the whole bad.
So far, it's money. The fuck is this?
Yep.
3. What happens if you make it explode?
Big one. Put that one in, like bold, underlined.
Strike through.
We also need to find out what
Everything.
happened to Four Roses.
Two, yeah. Or yeah, we might need like something that will give us, security, I suppose.
Secret lair.
Yeah.
I bet Dr. Evil lives in here. Mike Myers. Mike Myers lives here.
Okay, Mike Myers, sure.
Alright, that's the Grub's suggestion of objectives. They're open for discussion.
Yeah, the alive part is very optional, so. No, that seems good. Does anybody have any issue with those?
No, not really. We're gonna have to maybe leave Trip on the boat so the boat doesn't leave.
Yeah, so I figure if we break these down a bit more, Shade, maybe I want to say Shade and Mr. Smith in charge of money.
I did volunteer to go be in charge of money. With 5H43.
Yeah.
So if we
You heard the
yeah,
word online and we're like, nope.
Let's go find a boss.
So Shade, yeah, so that's 5H43 and Mr. Smith are going to go steal all the money for us, so we're no longer poor gangsters.
Yeah, we can do that. This is why I'm like nat one.
Trick is going to be in charge of escaping alive by keeping the boat afloat and in our control.
He's a good egg.
So Trick's objective is number 4, and that leaves Larry and Fisheye to
He is fisheye.
sorry, Dog Grubs and Fisheye to execute items 2 and 3, which is find out what's going on and then fuck shit up.
That seems like a natural fit for you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
just go down to the sub basement and punch through it,
Oh yeah.
and then
So-
watch it flood.
What I'm thinking is if we
You still got your grenade vest.
yeah, so what I'm thinking is if we initially enter at the same time, Mr. Smith and Shade probably go for the infiltration strategy,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
and then Trip and the other guy can unload and generally just look busy, and then Larry and Dot will possibly go enter via underwater and then leave a bomb behind to flood the place or something. we'll wing that. We'll take all the explosives and figure it out on the way
Do you think we could pull off that you're here as on-site entertainment?
Like a USO show.
Yeah.
I'm not
Alright,
sure that's
Grubsy,
fly.
put on something skimpy.
I'm not sure that'll fly. Is that a face with a pink mouth and flaming hair?
Oh, for fuck.
Oh!
That's been a solid like 10-20 minutes of someone drawing that.
Sorry, I was my screen was on the Discord.
I was having
Okay.
fun.
Okay. So yeah, you're coming towards
Is it
the
worth,
dock area.
before we dock Larry scouting out, whether you can enter underwater or we're all going to have to go in through, like, a door? For Doc and Larry to get in.
So I guess we asked the driver if he's ever been on the island before. You know, do they have like an office where they do the admin and stuff?
Not that I know of, mate. I mean, all the stuff above sea level seems to be, I don't know, living quarters and sort of mostly holding pens for. I mean, sometimes we bring animals. I think that's where they tend to keep them.
What about all right? So note to Mrs. Smith and 5840, if just free animals at will.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I'll see if I can do that through the internet. So you can do everything through the internet with one good interface rule.
You can do a lot. From your knowledge of systems and networks, that you will know that, especially bigger things like this, things are partitioned off, and although everything is interconnected, it won't be, especially with something so top secret and closely guarded, things will be
It's going to be
less
difficult.
straightforward than some of your previous adventures.
So, yeah, I guess we'll roll with that. Anyone got it? So, I mean, we're all going to maintain radio contact of some sort, I assume. But I think General suggested, yeah, Shade and Mr. Smith try and get into the infiltration bit and find somewhere that they can get into somewhere to steal some monies. Marion Doc will. I'm gonna go with leave. Have we got any capacity to put like grenades on a timer?
You do have. I mean, you can.
So, like a delayed fuse or something.
Yeah, you can rig up a bomb. Trip would probably be a best man for that. He has generally done
I
that
can
fast.
try.
He has a fairly good demolitions.
All right. Yes.
then
Yeah, so
You're more than welcome to.
all I want is essentially. I don't know whether you can just rig me up some kind of like jury rigged pin so that right when I pull the pin out, it doesn't blow up for another 20 minutes.
What if we just tied all the pins to a really long bit of string?
What you just described is Doc Grubbs' like average Saturday night vest.
Oh, what? Just sort of.
Just like a string. It's just a string vest where the string is just all threaded through many grenade
And the
pins.
delay. How long are you going for the delay?
Maybe what do you think? 15 minutes?
I'm gonna say this isn't because you don't really have the time to.
Not an exact science, but we don't want it to
Yeah.
be at least 10 minutes.
I'm gonna say because you probably don't have the time to rig up a proper, like, bomb, and because you are like coming in towards the lab now. This would be more like I feel really bad for Trip. This is the first time he actually gets to use his particle, but this is gonna be
It's
more
not
like a
even
jury
here.
rig. And he does quite well.
Fucking nailed it, boy.
Fucking nailed it. So yeah, he manages to rig it up pretty well, and he just sort of like fiddles with the fuses in a couple of the grenades. In how many of the grenades do you want this done to, or just like?
Let's go with 4 thermite grenades. I'm assuming I already have some kind of detonator for my C4, so that's fine. I can deal with that.
Okay, yeah. So you just know down like 4 of your thermite grenades have been delayed. He thinks like somewhere. I mean, for a while, but it's not going to be exact. I mean, I bought you at least a couple minutes.
That'd be fine. And then, is it safe to assume that when I bought 5 kilos of C4, I bought some kind of detonator for them?
Yeah, you would have had.
Wait, you could just stick the grenades in the C4.
Yeah, but I'd like to be able to control when the C4 goes off.
Amateur.
Yeah.
Can you use the C4 to control when the grenades go off? If you've got a detonator.
I mean, to be honest, if you're blowing up C4, there's not
Not a lot of point using
loads
grenades,
of
really.
grenades.
No, it's more that I want the grenades to go off on the way in to start causing confusion, and then on the way out, we'll let the C4 off to fucking work this shit out.
Okay. Trip just rigged that up for you.
Alright, so
you just you've got your C4. You had all the bits. You just needed to put them together, and just hand you back the detonator.
Right, got my little stereotypical handheld handset with a little aerial and a red light on it.
Yeah.
Woo! Alright, I guess.
On a little remote that originally said don't press this, and we just scratched out and it just says press this all the time.
Yeah, big red. Yeah, I said the dead man's grip. Don't drop it. Alright. Happy days.
In we go?
Onward!
Okay. So you get pulled into. He maneuvers you in towards the docks, which is sort of on the bits between these smaller bubbles and the main bubble. So it's sort of these sorts of bits here, and your comrade sort of pulls in, and then sort of just pauses at the dock there. And nothing really happens as such. He just says like, yeah, people. I mean, this is normally where he just sort of looks over to the pile of bodies and just sort of goes, this is normally when guys would start unloading, but
Alright, so
I guess we're not doing that.
well, no, I think 5843 and Trip and Mr. Smith can go about utilize him as well, actually, because he's one of them, to make a show of unloading and busying themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Mrs. So I'm hoping Shade and Mrs. Smith can take that opportunity to kind of slip in further into the complex while Doc Grubbs and I think you take a swim.
So did you say Grubbs and Larry take a swim?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, I mean, I know Larry's still in the guard uniform. What is Doc Grubbs looking like now? Is he still?
What does Doc Grubbs ever look like?
Okay, I didn't know if he was stealing some disguise or not.
Nope, he's
Not
gonna
that
be
much would
wearing
fit him
his
very
normal
well.
clothes, his lab coat, and his bear skin.
Sure.
He's also hang on. How does he breathe? Got any? Is there any air canister, like oxygen kit things in his medical gear at all?
Nah, not that you have. I mean, not something that would work as a makeshift scuba tank.
All right, he's gonna. Is there a handy crate?
There are crates, yeah.
Are any of them made of metal?
Yeah.
All right, what he's gonna do is he's gonna take a metal crate, rip the lid off it with his cyber fist, and prepare to use it as a makeshift diving bell.
Okay. Okay.
Which may end very badly because he will have a very limited amount of air. So first, he's gonna send Fisheye to find the entrance before he jumps in his diving bell of doom.
Okay. All right. Okay, so is Larry heading in first then? Heading
Yeah.
underwater first. Okay, so you haven't actually gone onto the docks. I mean, Trip, Shade, and Smith. What are you doing with the other guy? What were you doing with the pilot?
Oh right, sorry.
Wasn't he helping them load the boat?
Yeah. Or
I mean, he can be. Are you gonna be keeping an eye on him?
That's Trip's responsibility.
yeah, my
Okay.
thinking was Trip keeps an eye on him. Me and 5H43 kind of sideline out as if we're supposed to be here with like a manifest or something and see what we're dealing with.
You gonna go
Okay.
to the paperwork depot or something?
Yeah, that's my thinking. Go to the paperwork factory.
Okay, so we'll do that first briefly. So yeah, you sort of like head out onto the dock itself. It's not like a bustling dock. It's more just like a bit like a jetty where the ships sort of pull up. There's obviously obvious reasons they don't get loads of shipments. It's infrequent. So there's no one just sort of loitering about. But
Oh, that's good.
when you guys do turn up after a minute or two, with nothing appearing to happen, then one or two guys, one guy just sort of starts making his way over to the ship and starts it looks like some of the other guys from before, just sort of in overalls, and it's very sort of
Just a team.
like yeah, basically just like manual
People who
worker.
die very easily to knives. I like it.
They dial very easily to a lot of things. And he just sort of goes, you're right, lads. Any problems? You need a hand?
Yeah, you know what? If you can give us a hand with a bit of unload. Wait, how much stuff did we actually end up with on the ship? We don't
Not
have anything
much.
on the ship, do we?
Yeah,
No.
like
A lot of bodies.
yeah, like
Yeah,
two
what do we
pallets
actually- Yeah.
of like lab equipment
Oh, yeah.
before Grubb shot the guy in the face.
Okay, but we have those 2 pallets of lab equipment, right?
Yeah.
So we want to be like, all right, there's we got
There's some
some
empty
stuff on
containers.
there. Not
just-
much. There's something going on with the lab over there. If you can give us a hand unloading, that'd be great. Tell you what, mate. Where's your John? Ours wasn't working on there. I'm busting right now.
And he's like,
There's always someone who's too good to piss off the side of the ship.
Shut up. I'm in a suit.
yeah, he just sort of looks like he's like quite official. So he's like, yeah, right. He just sort of points at it. It's just back in warehouse 2, and as you're like bubble 2, as you're on here, you see that all these little bubbles are all numbered.
Oh, thank God.
You're on this one. I'll just draw it so it's obvious for now. So this is bubble 2. And you like pulled up here. So yeah, he sort of directs you in there, and he's like, "Oh, you find it," and he just sort of shoos you off, and he's like, and he just sort of says, "All right, let's have a look," and starts making his way over to give you a hand. So,
I'm gonna
quick
go
question:
with
Are the
Mr.
body?
Smith.
Are
Probably
the
still on the
bodies
deck,
still
yeah,
just
really,
sitting
aren't
in
they?
the middle of the deck?
We tidy up.
You have tidied up.
Did we?
I hope so.
Yeah, we mopped it with some seawater and got rid of the corpses.
Where? Where are the corpses?
We put them in an empty shipping container.
Okay. Okay.
Because corpses are worth money, people.
That is true.
That's good, because I also just realised, like, did we tidy up the bodies before sending these random guys onto the boat?
Dog Grubs will know this, that the quality of body parts tends to degrade rather rapidly when left just sitting in seawater for several hours.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But, time is of the essence.
Details for me, Tails.
Yes. Okay,
Well,
so
we're going to be filthy rich by the end of this anyway, so it doesn't matter.
okay, so he helps. Shade sort of get that gangway down. And he's just like, oh, you guys haven't got Where's the rest of your guys? Aren't they doing this?
Oh, they had a stopover in Dover. They found a nice little brothel over there, and we had to leave on time, so fucking left them.
Fucking, oh jeez, fucking idiots. I mean, how many fucking times do I need to tell them? All right, whatever. Fine, whatever. Fuck them. They'll get fired in the morning. All right, let's have a look at this. And he sort of makes his way onto the ship. And he's like, "You guys seem a bit light. Is this really it? I thought we were waiting on some live merchandise."
Tell them they're in the bottom.
Have I left for the John now? Yeah, just checking.
Yeah, I've
cool,
assumed
cool,
you
yeah.
sort of headed off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Apparently, there was a gas leak at the dock, so I think that affected some of our more vulnerable merchandise.
Oh, and he's just like, oh, fuck, oh, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, we didn't want to call
come on.
ahead just in case,
yeah, he
were
just sort of makes a bit of a face like, oh, whatever. And
Is that one of those not my fucking job faces?
yeah, basically, he's like, oh, fuck it, not my problem. Yeah, you guys are the ones who are gonna get those guys. Well, he sort of like has a little bit of banter with you about like, oh, those guys at the docks aren't doing their fucking jobs. And you're like, ooh.
I'm trying to join in, but I know it's really my fault.
Starts making some like inside jokes, and you're like, oh yeah, tell me about it. Whilst this is happening, yeah, Mr. Smith, what are you doing?
So now that I've kind of slipped away and I'm heading towards the toilet, I want to try and because if there is like a main office, I want to try and see if I can find anything that looks particularly valuable or anything that looks like it might contain accounts or something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this bit. So yeah, like I say, these little smaller bubbles that he's directed you into. There's these big sort of concrete or like metal jetties going walkways, sort of humongous walkways in between, where yeah, space for vehicles or pitchforks, forklifts and stuff like that. So on the side of these bubbles, sort of like this side, on sort of like this bit here, there's big rolly doors, sort of almost like onto a warehouse, and then next to it, there's like a smaller, just sort of normal doorway. So you make your way in there, and I mean, yeah, it just looks like a sort of like a normal sort of like officey sort of bit.
Yep.
So there's a couple desks around. There's doesn't seem to be anyone in there right now. It's just like one room, and then there's another door leading off to the side which says toilets. But yeah, it's sort of like halfway between an office and a break room. So it seems like just for like the guys who work in this warehouse bubble.
Well,
sort of
I'm
spend
gonna
the rest of their
swipe anybody's lunch from the fridge that I can,
time. Yeah.
and I guess go use the bathroom and head back.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of person.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, there's like one computer terminal, but it's not on right now.
And I don't know how to use a computer at the best of times, so
Yeah. You're able to see through the windows, like sort of the internal window inside the office, out onto the rest of the warehouse. That this bubble seems to contain mainly livestock. So there's like loads of animals. Tends to be mammals. All just sort of in various pens, cages, and things sort of spread around. There's a couple guys you can see moving around. Sort of seeing to them, feeding them, and the like, and then yeah, so you do your business and start heading back. In that time, the guy begins helping Shade sort of unload the like 2 or 3 pallets, sort of, which is not going to take very long. Okay, then Larry and Grubbs. So Larry's So Larry's just going to swim down. So Grubbs is just going to get in a makeshift diving bell. Is that what I'm understanding?
I mean, Grubs is mostly metal,
Yes, he is.
so he should sink. Or rust.
Steps off the
Kinda
boat
follows.
and immediately falls to the fucking seafloor.
He has got a lot of metal, which may influence how
Oh yeah,
easy it
Grubs
is to
is
swim.
fucking. You know, he has not got a real ratio of like density to weight, mass.
Yeah.
But
You are-
no, that's why he's sending Fisheye first to find the entrance, so he can go straight there and not drown.
Okay, so Larry. Oh, there's just Larry going. Okay, Larry, are you? So what you doing? You just jumping in, going
Yeah.
for it? All right. So
Like a fucking seal.
like, so Larry, you are able to see. This is going to be a terrible freehand, but essentially, I mean, the basic layout of this place. So it's as you come down, as you poke your head under the surface, it's very dark all around you. It's freezing cold, and you're having just to initially you're like shivering and like breathing really fast, so you can't quite catch your breath. But then eventually you sort of like acclimatize, and then
Remember, you can breathe underwater.
yeah, and then I mean, to be fair, this is the first time he's ever done it,
It would be fucking weird.
so it would be really you're aware that you should be able to breathe underwater, but years of like
You end up choking to death out of
years
reflux.
of breathing air and choking on water, and then like millions of years of evolution have taught you that breathing water is a bad idea. So it takes you a minute to sort of like get over it, and you're like, okay, fuck it, and then you just go under and then just try and like breathe, and then it just works. Like you don't need to hold your breath or anything. You're not even breathing. It's just you don't need to breathe. So yeah, you poke your head under the surface, and you're still freezing your fucking ass off though. And you are able to see that this. Oh fuck! That is. No. No. So this comes down. Sort of just in a big sort of underwater tower deal. These bits you're able to see in all the bubbles have a similar sort of design, that they go down part of the way and then attach onto the main sort of structure, kind of like that. And you're able to see just several sort of levels coming down. There tends to be light on the outside, which is you're not sure if that's just for. I mean, you have a moment where you sort of think like, oh, why would they have windows underwater? And why would they bother putting lights on the bottom? But you can't really see any particular obvious explanation. But fuck it, it allows you to see out there. Roll me some awareness with a -2. I'm going to say, because this is going to be a fairly tricky. I mean, underwater and quite big, so it's hard to notice things. Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, so from your position there, you're able to make out that all the way down, this is a perfect sort of uninterrupted cylinder with obviously, yeah, like I say, like windows and viewing ports and things outside at various levels, more so towards the bottom. But what you are able to notice as well in the bottom is several openings. What purpose they have, you're not able to really say. they definitely are big enough for people. Definitely much bigger than people. They look big enough for like some sort of vehicles, but you can't see any out there right now. But yeah, they do look like some sort of opening or, I don't know, submersible dock at the bottom there, and that's probably a couple. I mean, fucking shit with distance. I don't know, like 100 meters down. Like it's almost like a skyscraper. This thing, underwater. But because of the lights outside on the outside of it, you're able to make out the bottom of it. Yeah, so that's what you're able. I mean,
So,
I'm not saying you did that just by sitting, sort of paddling at the top. You had to swim down a ways and sort of do a little recon. But yeah, you got the basic layout.
Is that like virtually the bottom of the sea?
No. I mean, you're not able to see the bottom of it. I mean, when I say a skyscraper, that's probably a bit much, but
No, what I mean is the whole thing floating?
it doesn't appear attached at the bottom to anything.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So if Grubsy just sinks to the bottom of the ocean, he will not end up outside the door.
No. It's just like jump in and then just sink to like another door that you can just sort of politely knock on.
All right, there's going to be slightly more complication to it than that. That's fine.
Yeah, there does seem a lot of darkness just sort of outside of the reach of the exterior lights. There's just darkness that you
Is there
can't
a crane
see.
anywhere on the boat?
There any what?
Is there a small crane anywhere on the boat?
There's like small, yeah. There's like little sort of cranes that you imagine just used for like, yeah, using it
Lifting
for some of the
stuff.
shipping
Get
stuff.
a rough guess of how deep Larry thinks the openings are. Like, best guess.
I mean, using that awareness roll, I'm going to say, what, from the surface down to here?
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know, 50 meters?
All right, Grubsy's gonna.
In terms of depth of water, really quite deep.
Yeah, no, that's fine then. So what all you do is get the crane and like tie on the diving bell of doom on a 40 meter and a bit length of chain, so that it should stop somewhere above, so that Grubsy can then dive like the last bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan.
I'm starting to flag now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know it's coming to 5-2, so I was going to sort of call it there unless anyone
it is
else
Andy's
do
bedtime.
anything specific.
Can I attempt my diving bell escapades before we finish?
I'm just
Okay.
starting to fall asleep.
Okay, so is Larry going to be escorting you on this to give you a
I hope
hand?
so.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty.
Larry's just going to swim around with the fish.
So, Larry,
With the genetically engineered sharks.
because
Oh,
this
shit.
thing is just gonna, once it gets in the water, it's just gonna start sinking at a certain speed, and you're gonna have to try and keep up with it. Can you roll me some swimming? Top right under body skills. Okay, yeah. And because you're going to be holding on to the thing as well, so you're just sort of along for the ride with that, so that's okay. Doc Grubbs, can you... I'm trying to think what would best fit this situation.
I think he's probably going to clamp one hand on the bottom, on the edge of the, I call it a bell.
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna say-
like clamp his power fist on the edge to like, grip it super tight so he doesn't get like left behind or pop out from underneath.
Yeah, so you're just basically like holding on for grim death.
And just
So
using the air bubble that's created from it being upside down to
roll me some roll me some endurance.
I can do that.
Okay. So yeah, the thing starts sinking, and it starts going, and it goes faster than you would have thought, and there's an odd thing that starts happening as you start going down. Is that as you start going down, the air pocket within the crate that you're in starts slowly shrinking, and it just starts getting smaller and smaller until about probably halfway down, it's no more than enough to sort of press your face against the top. As a man of science, you know this is probably due to the differences in pressure.
I thought that was great. As a man of science, you know this is bad.
You know it's a very, very stupid idea.
I mean,
But when has that ever stopped you?
It's true.
So you
Grubbs is he's gonna make the most of it, and then once it gets to the point where he knows he's not gonna be able to take another decent breath, he's just gonna take a really deep breath.
yeah, and I'm gonna take that's
Pop out from under. Well, he's gonna pop out from underneath it,
yeah.
but keep hold of it so he keeps moving down nice and fast.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep using that endurance roll sets. Yeah, you start making it towards the end, and then by the time you get sort of close to your destination, it's like there's no sort of usable air in there. So yeah, you're just sort of, rather than bothering to keep there, you're just sort of keeping your eyes peeled for the entrance, and you do see it coming up, and it does seem to stop. Eventually, it does pull taut, and then unfortunately, because you're not directly in line with it for sort of context, you're not going to be directly above it like you would be if you were coming down from against the main bubble. You're coming down sort of like probably sort of over here-ish.
Yep.
I
guess I'm swimming the rest of the way.
Okay. Larry, you helping him?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I hope so.
both of you roll swimming. Because this is... Okay, so that's
a very bad roll.
Yeah. Considering, that's a body skill, and you're very good at... Oh, yeah, that was only a 2. Okay. Yeah, so with those rolls, I'm going to say they're fairly decent. You managed, between both of you, to stagger over there, and just as you're really running out of air, because this is taking like a minute almost, pushing it, you're getting there, and you're really, really, really flagging. And you get into here, and it's still water, and then finally your head crests out of the water. You take a massive lungful of air, and that's where we'll leave it.
So you're saying he didn't just plummet to the bottom of the ocean and drown?
Unfortunately not, no.
I'm fucking upset, ain't I?
Damn it.
I'm losing so many bets I had with 5H43.
Well,
But yeah, there you go. So you
All
guys have made the beginnings of infiltrating.
Lair.
Huh?
I like the bell.
Infiltrating Dr. Evil's lair.
The bell was a very I'm very surprised, like a very ingenious sort of use. I'm gonna say, so for the session, I'm gonna say, Larry, I'm not gonna give you an extra thing in swimming just yet because you haven't had a chance to use it that much. Actually, I'll give Larry a +1 in endurance for having to swim down, because that's a long fucking way to swim, and then hauling Doc Grubb's mammoth carcass around is
I reckon Doc Grubb probably weighs a quarter of a ton.
yeah, I'm not even that surprised.
Quarter of a ton.
I mean, a fat man can hit 200 kilos. Doc Grubbs is 7.5 feet tall, and not a small person around the middle.
And metal.
And he's carrying quite a lot, and he's got 2 metal arms, or one completely metal arm and a metal fist.
Yeah.
Right, and he's fully clothed and literally soaking wet.
You fat bastard.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't surprise you. His fucking cyber arm probably weighs 50 kilos.
I'm sort of thinking what this would be. I'm trying to
It's he's got hydraulics in it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Doc Grubbs can have a +1 to physics and wilderness survival.
Woo!
I'm going to say, because now you understand how pressures and bar work.
Where's physics?
Under intelligence, it's above programming. Between mathematics and programming. And then wilderness survival is just above zoology.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot.
No worries, mate. See you later.
Pushing boundaries on them important skills.
I'll speak to you guys later.
See
you later.
I'm going to give Trip a +1 to his jury rig. That was quite nice. That was a very good roll on his behalf.
Can I have one for driving the forklift? Yeah, no, operate heavy machinery.
I'm going to say...
Or is that too straightforward?
I'm going to say probably, yeah, it was too straightforward. There was no... it wasn't a stressful situation, so it wasn't like a... It wasn't very testing of your abilities.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you didn't even have to start it.
Trip rolled very well this session.
He did.
He critted on his persuasion and fast talk as well.
That's just what I want to hear. Trip did really well when Dan wasn't here.
It's perfect.
Actually, I'm going to say everyone who was disguised gets a +1 to disguise.
My disguise is being me.
Because I think everyone's been doing a lot of disguising recently. I think it's under technical skills.
Yeah, Doc Grubbs didn't disguise himself. He's trained.
No, almost the opposite. Just
Well,
creating
he did
even
try and
more
disguise
bold
himself as a bear,
aesthetic.
but it just did not. Like, oh god, Grubbs has a horrifying aesthetic.
It's very distinct.
It is
No,
a horrifying.
bear
disguise.
fucked a robot doctor. Like,
At some point, I think I want to find someone to do some artwork of our party, but I feel like Doc Grubbs isn't finished in his final form yet.
Well, that's the thing. I was actually thinking the same thing, but I was thinking of something very similar. Is that like almost every session something happens to at least one character which would massively change that. Someone gets a cyber arm, someone gets gills, someone gets like a bear skin or a mohawk. So, I think when the campaign finishes, then that would be very. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I did it for my first ever D&D campaign, and I think I'd really like to do it for my first ever CYBERPUNK campaign as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because actually, these are, I think, a lot of D&D characters are relatively generic in certain manners, but these characters are pretty fucking unique.
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah, a little bit.
I feel like Mr. Smith needs to have a hard-on in the artwork.
Yeah, I think Mr. Smith is mostly going to be in the characterization, is more in like how you get that mix of smarminess, skeeviness, and sexual depravity.
Yeah, the last one is really hard to kind of get it, make it subtle, but also not too.
Shade is just a pasty nerd who's also a knife-wielding psychopath.
He's got like a bit of a crazy look in his eye, and like light tattoos, and like a cool like neon hairdo, and like a chromed out metal arm.
Oh yeah.
No, Shade'd be cool.
Larry's got gills and a fisheye.
Larry's got gills and a literal fisheye.
And like,
and it looks like a bit like. I mean, his sort of. I mean, when it wasn't Jim Leahy, when.
His character. I do feel like he probably doesn't look that indifferent to his actual character image.
Yeah, his actual character image, I think, is very strong. I think is very sort of very spot on.
Grubbsy's one's probably relatively accurate for the first session.
He looks very dumpy in his original character art.
He has grown like 18 inches.
Yeah,
He's come down. He's gone up. He's stretched out.
I think Fisheye Larry's gone from looking very cool in his original stuff to looking slightly more horrifying.
Well, yeah, because he has claw feety, metally feet things as well, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
spikes in his heels, yeah. And
He's
then what does
got metal
Trip,
feet.
what does Trip look like? Trip's like just a mechanic, isn't he?
Trips looks like a proper mechanic. He's got like a metal arm, and he's got like
Well, he's got the real
like,
skin,
the
hasn't
goggles. He's got a what?
The like real skin covering for it.
Oh yeah, let me just double check.
Yeah, I think he has. I think Grubbs took it off at some point or another.
Skin weave. It doesn't say anything on there. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't even written Cyberarm on. Oh no, he's got Power Fist. He hasn't got Cyberarm on there. But yeah, no, I have to check with him. But yeah, no, he's got like, I imagine him look like overalls, like stripped to the waist with like metal arm. Yeah, skin weave or not. Yeah, goggles, looking a bit sort of grubby and sort of mechanic-y, basically. But I imagine him looking like beefy because he's a strong boy and he does a lot of strong boy things. But yeah, no, I think all the characters are very distinct. I do really like
I just occurred to me, I'm going to write down my appearance description of Grubbs so I don't forget it because I feel like it's easily done.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Round up.
I should stop recording and then